Hi, everyone. Let's just get started with the next 5 questions. I will be sharing my screen and we will go through the 5 questions. So all the questions so far, like they are not on a particular topic. They are from different topics, just they're randomized. But still, we are trying to see like if we can understand a particular topic and clear the concepts. So right now, in these 5 questions, I'm going to highlight or give you tips on the functions. Okay, so we have a couple of sample example in the 5 questions, but we will take get some tips related to the functions. So, and especially like the null functions and the condition functions. That's the one we have in these 5. So I hope everybody is doing the affirmations. Everybody is reading the exam objectives every day. And also everybody is reading the book at least for 15 minutes. So we are trying to keep a goal to finish the book as soon as possible. You can read the book in a random order or in a sequential order. If you want to go through the review material on the Google Drive, which is shared, is in the sequential order. And you can, of course, go through those. And if you have extra time, then you can practice few of the examples. But the one tip I had given to do the practice on Apex or on any other online platform or live SQL, where you can just create the table, HR schema table, which is employees, departments, those 6 tables for HR schema, HR user, which is a default user. And I have shared the scripts also for HR user on the Google Drive. So you can just get those created, and we have an activity guide with solutions for the HR schema. So my recommendation was, even you go through each statement and try to copy paste and look at the statement in the other way, a reverse engineering way on this particular solution is focusing on which exam objective. Okay, so over here we are trying to focus this preparation to exam objectives so that we can clear our exams. And then once the exams are clear, you have a lot of material, you have a lot of queries to go online and practice more. And also, depending on if you already have a job or you will get a job in the data related field, you will obviously get good practice, you will get environment to practice. But even before that, also after certification, you can focus more on little bit more practicing, and also like of learning more tools which can open up more opportunities. But let's just focus on certification right now, so that like we can get this one thing out of our way. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me just maximize it. So back to our 5 questions. We are doing these 5 questions because all of us are interested in earning the Oracle Database Certified SQL Associate credential. So this is the badge which we get. We can use it on our resume, which we can use it on your LinkedIn, and you can show it to your employer also. Okay, so the first question which I have here is, I'm going to just little bit reduce this so that like I think I hope this is readable, and if needed I'll just little bit like make it little big, maybe like I think this is better. So this particular question, if you see, I have the customer table with the data is given. Okay, and then you have which 2 select statements will return the result, which is MA NDY, which is row number 20, means the customer ID 20, and MARY, which is customer number 30. Okay, so these 2 answers are highlighted here. And if you will see that the same question is again with the same data, and there are some other options over here. There are a couple of other options are over here. So it's the same question appearing 2 times. Okay. So I'm going to explain both the times and why these answers are marked. Okay. So when I'm looking at the answers, so very first thing we need to understand that this is M is capital, A is small, and this is working. Like right now we need to focus because they have specifically given the rows and they have given the data. So we are going to work with this data only. Okay. So yeah, yes, let's just again get started. Over here, we are looking at the data. Okay. So for this data, we are trying to almost find the solution or find the option. And also, as usual, like we will go through the strategy of rejection. So when you know that like the first letter can be anything, the second letter is small a actually, because most of these options are like this. And then again, after a, it can be anything. So it is percent, a percent could be a right answer looking at this because everybody is starting with capital M, if you see that. The second one is like just MA, and like MA, we never do it. So this is a rejected answer. Again, upper MA is rejected because we're not looking for any MA. Also, this is not a double quote. We never use double quote, single quote. Again, with like, when you say like single quote MA, it will just find something which is actually MA because we are not using any of the, it's like almost like a equal to in single quote M, capital M, capital A. So this is also rejected because this is not the right way to use it. The third answer also over here is like, again, the third answer over here should have a percent. Okay, so because of that, I gave you that second repeated question. Again, the second sample question. So the answer number D is actually wrong. Okay, so it should be M, small a, and then percent. So it has to be percent over here. So even I have highlighted it, I had no way to add that percent over here, but in video recording, I'm trying to explain that has to be a percent here. So for D to be okay, there has to be a percent after A, okay? So for the E, again, we don't use any star and all, so this is rejected. Again, this actually is like a direct upper, like exactly like this. Only the thing over here, they use double quote, and to confuse you, use single quote so that you feel, oh, okay, the single quote one is the right one. This is definitely wrong one. But this condition itself is wrong because what you're expecting is not M, capital M and capital A. You are actually looking for MANDY and MARY. Okay. So, and the last one also is rejected. So these, because we wanted to select two, so we selected A and D, out of which D needed a percent. Okay. So then we go to the same question, and over here, the answers, the other ones are rejected, but you see over here, percent A percent is a right answer. MA percent, that was the choice number D over here, that was the right one. Okay, so both the questions are same, and now you know how we use the like. So always remember as a rule, when we use the like, okay, we use single quotes. That's one rule. Second is like we can use percent for a 0 or more substitution, and we can use underscore for one letter substitution. It has to be a one letter. Okay, so only these three rules, if you remember, for like, the like related select question is usually like pretty much easy and good for scoring. Okay, so now the next one is like which two statements are true. This is about case and decode. They are conditional functions. Both of them are functions. And I'm going to review some functions at the end of discussion of these 5 questions so that you can get more tips and you can get more, we can say, information to just remember in a very short way. And any questions on those functions, if they come in the exam, you should just follow the rule, follow the syntax. Okay. So case and decode are functions, which is true. All the conditions evaluate evaluated using decode can also be evaluated using case. That is also true, because case looks like a good, like a more expressible syntax, and decode is like a function. But I have seen like decode is very easy to interpret, and again it's a choice of the programmer in what they use it in real time, or what you will come across in real time. Okay, decode is a function and case is not, which is not true. Again, this they're asking you to confuse you, because the case statement looks like if else, if else, if else. So we feel that, oh, okay, it's not a function, but it is under conditional function. And neither case nor decode are a function. Again, that's wrong, because they are conditional functions. So that is the answer over here. Again, these other two are like all the conditions evaluated. Case can also be evaluated using decode. Other way, we don't put it true. The case is a function and decode is not. Again, they're just trying to confuse you over here. No, no, no. Just remember, in case of case and decode, both of them are function, and whatever we can do in decode can be done in case. The other way and other things are anyway not true. Okay. So now the next one over here is we have a good question here, which says the stable order item contains the order ID, unit price, underscore is missing here, quantity of the date, whatever they are, the number type. So now you are evaluating the function, evaluating the statement. Select max, this, as usual, we want to go and see what they're actually asking. I will not spend my time reading this first, because I want to ask what is the options and what is the question. So that's more important in the exam, because we want to go and try to finish this question as soon as possible. If I keep reading all the options and then I come to know, okay, the question was something else. So better option is like which statements are true. It is asking clearly, okay, which statements are true. And then it is asking, okay, so both statements will this. Okay, so now I'll just read it. The statement 1 returns only one row output. The statement 2, this, okay, both statements give the same output, whatever. Okay, so let's just see. So statement 1, max, unit price multiplied by quantity, and the alias looks like. So always we know that when we use the aggregate function and we don't use any other column, group by, anything with it, just aggregate functions, always the output is single row and single column. Okay, so this one will return, the statement 1 will return only one row. Statement 2 is like it is doing the calculation alias, but now it has added a group by. So group by may return, because now it is grouping by that particular column. Okay, that particular but that particular column is not shown, but internally the grouping is done. So it can display multiple row output. As soon as the group by comes, as a rule, we just adding, okay, that group by will be there. And so because of that, the statement 1, the option B looks right and option C looks right. So now if you see like both statement give the same output, no, because as soon as you add group by, it will be multiple rows. Statement 2 returns only one row output. So that is, again, when we use group by, it cannot be one row output. Again, what is there? You have both statements will return null if either of the unit price or quantity contains null. So any calculation with the null is again null. So like over here, when we are doing this unit price multiplied by quantity, if it is null, then the result will be null. Again, this looks okay. Okay, so like this looks fine. It just like it's going to be one row output or two row. We need to see that. I would say that if by any chance, if we can demonstrate this, like if I can find out a way to show you the output of this, I'll try that. But for now, just keep these answers. If anything changes, I would post you. Okay. So right now we'll leave it here. And if I can demonstrate it, I will share it in the WhatsApp. Okay. So now the next one is the query, which is like, again, over here, this is one more topic which I will discuss in one of the videos, just to give you idea about the conversion functions and the date functions. So over here, when you're reading this, just you have to go inside out so that you will know what exactly this particular functions might return. So what all the options are there? This actually you can copy paste it because it's from Dual, and you can type it out or copy paste it and check the output also. Okay, so it will return the date for the first Monday of the next month. It executes successfully but does not return the result. It generates an error. It returns a date from the last Monday of the current month. So these are the couple of options we have. But if you see that what we are trying to do is like it is sys date, last day. For this date, what is the last day? Okay. And then like that is the last day, and then we are looking for Monday. Okay. Then after that we say next day. So whatever the last day of this particular date, so suppose today is 22nd, so it's going to be 31st. That will be the last day. Then in that, the next day, what is the next day? Monday, because then, so this is one function, then this Monday is an argument for the next day. Okay, so next day is Monday, and then we are converting it to two-char because to display it in a particular format. You see over here, and this is the format for the two-char. So DD, whatever that particular date, Monday of the month. So this is the date format. So first of all, this, if you look at it, I would highly recommend to try this, because especially which I have mentioned in the previous topics also, when you have anything related to the functions for now, just copy paste them and try it so that you will get a little bit more understanding. And when we are using this level of nested functions, it is little bit like a guesswork for the exam, I would say. Again, we are not, because we don't know this exact example is going to come or something similar to will come, but the number of examples you would do related to this embedded or nested functions and the functions related examples, you will have a kind of idea about guessing. Okay, so this is only one topic where I really, this can be like really, we can go in detail, understand each line, understand each conversion. We can divide this in multiple select statements and see output of each line. We can do all that. But what is our rule? The number one rule which we are following right now, we are not giving more than 15 minutes to any question whatsoever. If we will start giving more than 15 minutes to any of the questions, we will never finish our so many sample questions which we need to go through. And you will be stuck on one for one day, and that is not a good speed. Our goal is minimum 5 questions per day. So this one, try it out. Only the thing what I would say that you see this last day, this is one particular function. Okay, now this parenthesis, that is the next day. So next day, this is the comma. See, this is open parenthesis, close parenthesis, then open parenthesis, close parenthesis, open parenthesis. Where is the close parenthesis? The next day's close parenthesis here. And then the two chars, open parenthesis and close parenthesis. So the opening and closing of the parenthesis, and if you just know a little bit about that function, what argument it takes, even you don't know, looking at the answer, try to guess it. Okay, so over here, it is clearly like it is getting a last day, then it is asking the next, then again it is representing in a particular format, because right now they're not asking us what will be the output of this command. So I will not even look at the formatting which we use for the two char. When we use the two char conversion functions, to char, to date, to number, we can give the formatting. Okay, this is the formatting, and the formatting will be important when actually we are going to, when the question is related to how the output will look like. But right now in this question, the formatting is not important. So I'm not looking at it that much, like this DD, month of, in quotes, you can give the literal, then you can give this FM and M and 99 and dollar and all that, those formatting related stuff, which you can use with to char, to date, and to number functions. Okay, so over here it's more about what it will show. So it is going to show the date for the first Monday of the next month, because it's going to the last day of that month, then it is choosing the Monday. So it's going to be the first Monday, but because it's a last day and then we are going to the first Monday, it's going to be the next month's first Monday. Just remember like that, or take a hint like that. Okay, so now the next one, we have it over here. You need to calculate the number of days between the 1st January 2019 until today. So this looks like a regular, like a minus sys date minus January, this minus sys date. Okay, like that this looks like. Then they have given a format and all. So over here again, this is date related or date function related kind of a question. Always a good idea to copy paste it and look at the output. I have given the output here in the SQL Plus window, just because like if this you would do it in Apex, because of the date formatting, I was getting the error. So I just, again, the same principle. I don't want to spend too much time on figuring out right now why my Apex is not giving me the result. Okay, so better SQL Plus is like a very plain and very, always it will be right. Okay, because it's nothing, SQL Plus is like a command line kind of interface. If I run from, if my Oracle is installed, if I just do SQL Plus, it will show me this kind of output, which I actually like have given all these statements over here and showing you the output, just to give the idea like how the, how many number of days between today and the sys date, sys date and the January 1st, January 2019. Okay, so that is the, so, but over here, try to understand when this was done, it was like whatever the date it was, this output was taken. So this output might vary. So you have to have that understanding. This was just for your extra understanding. Again, in this question, they're not asking actually number of days, just like how you would calculate it. So over here, just see that we have sys date minus to date. And this is a particular, in a different format, the date is there, which we are converting to the DDU-MONRR when you say to date, and it should give us the output. The next one is like, we are doing like a sys date, and this sys date to date and this kind of a format, and then you're trying to minus it. This will give error because this to date will not work like this. Again, sys date minus to date, this one works fine. This is a regular, like a sys date. Again, over here, there is a spelling mistake. Try to understand it is not SUDO, it's sys date. So you need to little bit like assume like you will get a right answer. So you will get a right choice of answer. That's what I mean to say. So this again, sys date minus this, you're rounding it, it is working or not. The 2 day, again, this is, it is impossible to just explain exactly what it's doing until and unless you don't see the output. You see over here, sys date to date, you're changing this to date minus sys date, this works fine. This is working fine. So now round sys date, this, it is giving this error over here because it's not expecting a date over there. So it has to be different. Again, over here, it is giving you the error because again, it is not expecting the result. If you can fix this some way and make it work, you can share those answers. But right now I have copied this from the choices of the answers, which were for this query. Again, as I said, it has to be like these function or date, these related questions which you're getting right now. Try to try them and try to see what can be the best way you can guess the answer. Okay, so now these were the 5 questions, but I just want to discuss a small topic which is on the functions, just to remember, and then this could be a very good, like a quick reference for your functions. And over here the functions are like a NVL, which we have seen a couple of example. Value if null, so if it replaces whatever the value you give, and if the column is null, if that data in that column is null, it will replace that value. There is an example over here. If you want to go and try, you can try. I've just given it for the sample. Then NVL2. So all these NVL related, NVL2. NVL2 is a function which can be used to substitute and alternate for the null as well as not null. Okay, so if you give a data, like whatever that column name, and if the data if value if not null, means if the data is not null, then it will return the value, and but if it is null, then it will return this. So like whatever you want, you can change. If a value is not null, you can replace it with something else. Over here, what happens in the NVL, if the value is not null, it will show the original value. Over here in NVL2, you can change that value just for the display. Everything is for the display. So it takes care of the not null to display something else, also for the null to display something else, just for the reporting purpose. Okay. Then the next one is null if. Null if is like a comparing expression 1 to expression 2. So if the expression 1 and expression 2 are matching, then it will return null. If they are not matching, then they will return the first expression. So in this second case, it will return the SQL, okay, because they are not equal. Okay. The next one which we have in list over here is coalesce. Okay. So coalesce is like, it is a more, we can say like more generic form of a NVL, and it returns the first not null expression. Okay, so if you look at it, it looks almost like a if statement. So I'm going to talk about if statement first. If statement is one of the construct, a common construct in any programming language. So you take like from C, C++, Java, Python, any language, programming language, PL/SQL also, you take any programming language, there is always a if statement, and if statement is nothing but like a condition checking. So if it's like almost like in our regular life, if you say if you do this, then I will do this, it exactly like that. We can tell, like I tell my daughter, okay, if you do this, then I'll do this. So exactly like that. And if not, then whatever else happens. Okay, so that way you just look at it. So if in this case if address is not null, then the result is address 1. If the address 2 is not null, then the result is, so suppose the very first condition gets matched. So if address 1 is not null, then what happens? It's just whatever the first not null condition it comes across, it will solve that, and it comes out of that if statement. Okay, so if it is there, yes, it is there. Else if this is not, then it will go to this. Then if this is not, it will go to this. And all these conditions are false, then it is just going to return the null. So that is the way your coalesce work. Okay, so in case if we get a coalesce question. Now the next one is your conditional function, which is decode and the case statement, which is one of the example in this sample questions we have it. So that's a right reference over here. Decode is usually like you give the column and then you have a pairing, like, you know, so it compares the expressions against each value. And then if that value exists, then if that value, then output will be whatever it's paired with it. So you're searching for a search value, and then if it matches, then you give the result. So search result, search result, search result, and if not, whatever is the default one. So one small example to see over here for the decode is decode, like this is like a funny example with the null. So you're looking for null, and if it is null, then you will display equal. But if it is not null, then it will be not equal. Okay. And this is example from like an employees table. So where hire date is, you're looking for sys date. If it is a sys date, you will say you are a new hire. And if not, the default is going to be you are an employee. Okay. So this is the way over here. And then you have this is a decode and the case statement. So case expression, like always, like whatever you can write in decode, you can convert it to the case over here. So in the case, how the syntax looks like is when whatever your expression means, that whatever like the condition you're going to put it, like the way we saw in if, and then the result, when, then, else, and end. So over here, you see that select whatever the first name, and we are writing a case statement over here. When salary less than 2,000, then you display band 1. When the salary is between, like, like a greater than 2,000 and less than 5,000, we did not use between, because we don't want it to, it is inclusive, exclusive, that. So because of that, we use this, or this particular condition. So then it's band 2, and then else it is band 3, and the case statement, whatever the end case. So case and the end case. So over here, the more focus is the you can try to make this work. If any small syntax mistake, now you should be in a position to fix that syntax mistake also, because you understand like how the conditions can work. And over here, the reason was how the case and the when then pair happens, then else happens, and end case. So this is the whole of your case statement over here. Okay, so that's one, that is your decode and the case, which are conditional functions. So with this, I would say that we covered more 5 questions. We will come up with more 5, but for now, just enjoy these 5, and see you guys soon. Thank you.